Welcome back to Daytona Beach, Florida. Gorgeous shots coming from our DirecTV blimp. The aerial coverage of today's race brought to you by DirecTV. Only DirecTV gives you dedicated driver channels, so you'll never miss a second of your driver's race. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Beautiful area taken over by NASCAR in February. The Speed Weeks takes place, as well as the ARCA Racing Series to kick off the 2012 season of stock car racing. Let's go back down pit road and Ray Dunlap.
Well, the big question, Rick, for me down on this end is, will anybody come back in for tires that hasn't pitted, or that did pit on lap number 9? I checked with Frank Kimmel's bunch. They said, nope, they're all done. Chad Hockenbrough said they got their fuel. They're ready to go to the end. But I did stop in Max Gresham's pit also, and they said they may consider getting right side tires somewhere around the middle part of this race. So some varying strategies down here, but quite a few of these guys are done for the day. Jim Trado?
Ray, a couple of guys actually had to come down out of necessity. One was John Wolf, the crew chief that powered Poucher Shelter to the ARCA Championship a couple years back. He's on the box for Matt Lofton for Coulter Motorsports. He came down for gas only and put tape on the nose. He said we were running a bit too cool. Opposite for Alex Gregory, the number 78 machine, the Mosquito Patch 4. The car was overheating. They had some water coming out of the overflow, so they took advantage under this caution to take gas and fix their issues. One was too cool, one too hot. We'll see how it plays out for them.
Thanks, guys.
Good looking shot of Alex's car right there, the 78.
They'll get everyone lined back up again. Scoring monitor saying that Sean Corr will bring the field back to the green flag as we're getting ready for the restart. They're continuing to get everyone back in line. And Phil, early on in this race, we haven't seen two cars get together and try to work to see if they're faster than the pack. We've seen pack racing, which we've come to be accustomed to here at Daytona.
And that's really what we saw last year in the ARCA Racing Series, was pack racing. Again, they lined up on the inside against the yellow line with Bobby Gerhart, probably the most potent car leading the pack, so there wasn't that much passing. I think we're going to see a lot more of that this time around. We're going to see a lot more passing, especially now that we have Bobby Gerhart, who did get the Aaron's lucky dog at the back of the pack, and now he's got to make his way back to the front. He's going to take some people with him.
Working together to try to get from the back to the front. Don't want to be involved in any type of incident that might take place if you get caught in the middle or the back. They're bringing in the 33 of Milcaduno on the hook. Lucas Oil Slick missed 200. The opening race of 20 for the ARCA Racing Series. The Aaron's lucky dog goes to Bobby Gerhart, as we thought might happen. Green flag comes out as the field makes their way onto the trial and across into turn number 1, and a few not getting up to speed quite as quickly as others.
Sometimes the most dangerous part is right after a restart, when you have the different varying speeds, when people get up to speed and not. Looks like we've been able to get through the 1 and 2 anyway.
And this is a little bit rare. You know, the cars were all stacked together when the green flag came out, and already there's over a straightaway between the first car and the last car
at the very back.
Going into the infield, the 11 of Lolani Munter. Around goes, or excuse me, the 12 of Lolani Munter goes around.
We stay green for the moment as caution is out now, just as she gets that car refired.
Caution will come out once again. That was coming off of turn number 2. You saw it as it happened.
Obviously, had a tire situation, left rear.
Left rear completely off of that race car.
He was at the very back of the pack, and maybe the next to the last car.
We see her trying to make her way without the assistance of a tow truck or a push. Take another look. We're riding along with Lolani, and she heard it going down.
Yeah, she realized she had a problem there. She had a couple cars behind her, but she realized she had a problem, and that kept her from getting some serious damage, maybe getting into the inside or the outside wall.
Coming out of 2, you could hear her getting out of the gas. You see her way in the back, and that tire going out. Around goes that number 12.
More than likely, that's the same set of tires she started the race on, and never know when you may have picked up a little bit of debris as she was exiting pit road. She made a pit stop, I believe, so she may have picked up a little bit of debris as she was exiting the pits, and that cut down that tire.
You might be wondering, what is the Cove? That's a documentary that has been done on bottlenose dolphins. I took a look at that. Very fascinating. If you get a chance, take a look at the Cove, talking about captivity of bottlenose dolphins. Aaron's lucky dog will go to Sloan Henderson, who's actually 5 laps down, had a problem early on in this race. She was on the inside of the apron coming out of turn number 4 when we saw Melchaduna get turned around and bring out the first caution. And once again, we're seeing cars make their way onto pit road. Let's go down to Ray.
Well, Sean Corr is coming in. This will be their fuel stop. And I asked crew chief Ben Leslie, why not come on lap 9? He said, we wanted the extra amount of time to ensure, in case there's a green light checkered at the end of this race, they're going to slam some fuel in that thing, and the 82 will be done. Back to the end of pit road. Let's go to Jamie.
The 94 of Chris Blackburn has also come to pit lane. They're going to do fuel only. Crew's already got him back out.
See, these pit stops have been so fast.
Watch out. There's a paddle at the end of pit road. Some were coming a little quicker. And the orange cone just got hit. Sorry about that orange cone.
Just got knocked out of the way.
I didn't recognize the orange cone earlier as to the entrance to pit road, but exiting pit road, out of the way. So again, the caution comes out for Leilani Munter. And welcome back to Daytona International Speedway as the field continues to get back in line as we're going for our second restart now. The Lucas Oil Slick Mist 200 on our 16th lap with 64 laps to go. And a year ago in this very race, one young Ty Dillon made his first ever ARCA racing start at Daytona. And we've seen 24 others that have done that. But Ty, you, like none of the others in that race a year ago, went on to win the championship, had a dominant season, winning 7 races, and now you've made the move up into the Camping World Truck Series. How you doing?
Doing great. Yeah, this was a really special start to an awesome year last year. Couldn't enjoy the ARCA series much more than what we did. We had 7 wins, just had an awesome year. And you know, it's a great series. You get to come places like this and learn how to race at the tracks that you'll be learning at and in the NASCAR rankings. So love the ARCA series, and looks like we've got a good race shaping up.
Can you hang out with us for a little while? We'll call a little ARCA racing.
Yeah,
here.
Definitely. You're gonna have to teach me how to do this. I'm not really used to it.
We've got one of your former crew chiefs leading right now, Cale Gale.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm happy for Cale. He's got a new deal going for him, and he's a really great guy. He did a good job crew chief, and so maybe if this racing deal don't work out, he can be a great crew chief for somebody.
We got Cale Gale out in front, Ed Kennedy running second, Mike Harmon, Terry Jones, and the 02 of Josh Williams, your top 5. But here at Daytona, those change fast.
Yeah, Brandon McReynolds is on the move in that 4 car on the outside. You see him 3 wide back there. There's Chris Buescher in the middle. I tell you, Chris Buescher had a great race here, Ty, and he gave you a run for your money all year.
Yeah, he did. He's an outstanding driver. You know, they don't have the equipment and sponsor money that most of these teams do, and Chris does an awesome job of finishing races. He'll be one that's gonna, I'm sure, will fight all year this year for another championship, and he's a great racer, and he's a really good guy to be around too.
How about the run we saw out of the Lucas Oil number 5 of Bobby Gerhart? He restarted toward the back, and already Bobby Gerhart has made his way up into the top 15, running 12th the last time they went by the stripe.
Yeah, this guy, he's got some tricks up his sleeve. I don't know what he's got going on with his pitch strategy, but it usually works.
Brandon McReynolds makes his way around that 6, and Brandon McReynolds now out in front of the field at Daytona.
And if that McReynolds name sounds familiar, as we see some 3 wide racing back here with Frank Kimmel in the middle, Bobby Gerhart on the outside. That's because it's Larry McReynolds, our broadcast partner's son, Brandon.
Brandon getting an opportunity to run the Daytona race here in the ARCA Racing Series, and now out in front of the field. Jamie.
A little story on Brandon McReynolds. The last time he was in victory lane here at Daytona, he was only 9 months old, and that's because his dad, Larry, was crew chief for Daytona. Davey Allison, who won the Daytona 500 back then. Right now, he's looking to get back.
Well, we got Bill Coffey coming across the stripe, but after being into the wall coming out of turn number 4, so Bill Coffey brings out the caution once again. Right front tire down,
yeah,
but
may have cut down a right front tire exiting turn number 4. Ty, I remember this race last year, and I know you guys you guys pitted about halfway, so well, it shouldn't be any problem to work your way back to the front, and everybody lined up, and nobody got on the line. Nobody actually moved.
Yeah, it was really tough to pass last year. I see these guys there a little more 2 wide, 3 wide action. I don't know if they had a rule change or what's made these guys be able to draft better, maybe just being a little more aggressive than what the race was last year. But yeah, the race kind of stalled out last year, and there wasn't very much pass. And I know I was running second early in the race and moved out to try and make something happen, and it turned out to be a bad mistake. I fell back, and it took the whole race just to get back to 11th.
Take a look at what happened here with Coffey. He's the 18 on the outside into the wall there, and then just stayed in the wall all the way through the trioval.
Yeah, he may have cut a tire down, but it wasn't drastic. You can see he's already into the outside wall there, and then makes a little more contact when the car starts to come off the wall and jerks back into the wall. But tough break for Coffey.
Ray Dunlap.
Hey, Rick, I just wanted to add, Ty was talking about rule changes. One of the ones I noticed this weekend is the fact that they went about 30% stronger on the rear springs of these cars. They're required to have 600-pound rear springs, and ARCA actually issues those to them. But what that does is throws that rear spoiler up in the air a little bit more and gives them some more stability. And the guys said in testing down here and also in the practice, these cars are really nice to drive. They go through the corners great, and I think that stability is helping to make them be able to run in a tighter pack.
And we're seeing that early on. Brandon McReynolds, your race leader. Ryan Reed, Wyndham Gale, and Chris Buescher are your top 5. Kyle Hockenbrough, Kennedy Harmon, and Frank Kimmel rounding out our top 10 Daytona International Speedway.